I'm in the garage today doing stupid cheap mods, so follow along. Stupid cheap mod number 2. Replacing my bleed screws on my intercooler cores with these fork bleeder screws that I got off AliExpress. The OEM bleed screws are plastic and they get brittle over time, and when that happens they tend to break off when you try and remove them, and they leave plastic pieces inside the intercooler core. A long time ago, I swapped my OEM ones out for this absurdly overpriced screw from 034 Motorsport, which has a slot cutout that helps you bleed the intercooler cores when you start to back it out a little bit. The problem with those is that they're stainless steel. The intercooler cores are aluminum, and when you mix stainless steel with aluminum over time, it's no good, and it can cause them to get stuck like cement to the aluminum cores, and then things break when you try and take them off. The fork bleeder comes in. We're going to screw this in there, and then anytime we need to bleed air, we just have to push down on that, and it's going to release air through the fork bleeder through that hole built into the bottom of it. Let's go ahead and remove the last of these 034 bleed screws here. Something important to note, you can see that there's an O-ring inside the intercooler core, and we want to leave that one there. But you're also going to see an O-ring on the bleed screw or the fork bleeder here, and we want to remove that one. That's too small. Next, all we're going to do is take the fork bleeder and we're going to screw it in by hand. There is a nut built into it to where you can tighten it down, but it's an 11 millimeter. And I don't have an 11 millimeter open wrench, so I'm just going to get it down by hand. And if I need to, I'll use a pair of pliers to tighten them up a little bit. But remember, these things take minimum amount of force, so hand tight should be pretty good. Okay, we've got the engine running and there's no leak, so let's see what happens when we press the button. That's a pretty successful result for something that only costs about $15 or $20 shipped to your door. But one final piece of information you need to be aware of when you go to order these. When you buy one, they're going to come in a pack and they're going to have 2 bleeders in there. But they're not the 2 you need. You need 2 M8x1 bleeders, but they're going to come with an M4x0.7 bleeder with the M8x1 bleeder. So you're going to have to buy 2 separate packs, and you're just not going to have any use for these. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments, and otherwise follow me for more stupid cheap mods that you can do to your Audi.